Hello, and welcome back to KSP Real Solar System Campaign. The Endeavour IV probe is traveling through space, headed towards Jupiter at the moment. Just going to have a quick look at some of the scientific experiments here, just to see if there's any kind of data we can collect. So just gotta slow the time warp down, and no, not really anything. I think we gathered all the scientific data from this area of space while we were on our previous mission to Jupiter a few episodes back, so there is not a whole lot to do while we're traveling through space. You can see our current position here, and the encounter with Jupiter is still 2 years, well, almost 2 years ahead of us, and then of course it's going to take a lot longer until we hit Pluto out here. I'm going to take a look at potential course corrections that we can use to get encounters with the Jupiter moons, because it would be kind of nice if we could actually achieve that while still performing our gravity assist towards Pluto. Of course, the Pluto mission is going to take priority here over any encounter with the Galilean moons. So I think the way that our trajectory goes through the Jupiter system, Europa might be the best target for a flyby, but it doesn't. You can see we get a closest approach indicators, but we are kind of, when we come in here we're going to be way off target. We get something here. Those closest approach indicators are quite close. Oh, yep, we get a flyby there. The question of course is how that's going to affect the encounter with Pluto afterwards. Well, maybe I just need to increase the conic patch limit. Maybe that's what's wrong here. Yeah, there we go. That's better. So, yeah, it does look like the Europa encounter is going to mess up the Pluto encounter. So I'm not going to sacrifice the Pluto encounter for a Europa encounter. Jupiter now, and you can just about see it in the distance here as this tiny speck of light. The probe is going to have the closest approach to Jupiter at the night side of Jupiter, and if you look carefully you can see the Jupiter moons rotating around there. They're just sort of these blinking tiny specks of light here and there, and there are 4 of them, and I can at least spot 3. Yeah, we have one behind there, I think. Yeah, anyway, let's see if there is any scientific data we haven't gathered from this particular place in space. So I don't think there is any. Well, there is some actually. So I'm going to send that back to Earth, of course. Nope, nothing there. And of course, yeah, I don't know why I keep bringing these seismometers on every mission that does not involve landing on a solid body. Oh well, mission. And we are passing behind it, so you can kind of see the edge of Jupiter here being lit up by the sun like a crescent. Well, you can enjoy looking at the storms of Jupiter here, quite close to the closest approach now. And let's see if we can spot any of the moons from this particular angle. Yeah, maybe not. So I think we are in space high above Jupiter, yes. And I'm pretty sure we have gathered all relevant scientific data from this area on our previous mission. So not much, well, perturbation The Endeavour IV probe is now leaving Jupiter and its moons behind it, headed out towards Pluto. Of course, it would not be possible to go out to Pluto without a gravity assist at Jupiter. And that is really true in real life as well, because New Horizons also made use of a gravity assist at Jupiter to get out there. Because the outer edges of the solar system, I mean the planets beyond Jupiter, are just so far away that the amount of rocket power required to get there with a conventional Hoffman transfer orbits and stuff like that is just so prohibitive. But the power of the gravity assist can sling us out to any planet really in the outer solar system beyond Jupiter. Now that we are outside Jupiter's sphere of influence, we can start planning our next course correction maneuver. And I'm going to put this quite far away from where we're currently at. 2,000 days away is this node. And we are just going to make small adjustments here to see what we can do. So we're definitely going to get closer, but I also want, I want to get really close to both Charon and Pluto. So let's see if that is feasible. I might have to make additional course corrections as well to really make this work. So this is just a 3.2 meter per second correction, so that's tiny. Now, just out of curiosity, let's look at what it would take to get into Pluto orbit. So if we just drag this, oh, that's a bit too much. That is going to take 2.6 kilometers per second, and we just have 700 meters per second. So that's not feasible, of course, but I didn't expect it to be anyway. So we'll just cancel that. And I think we're going to go with this maneuver node for, well, initially, and then we will make additional corrections. And I want to get close, really close to both Pluto and Charon in the same go, remember. And that might not be so easy, but we'll see what it will take. We are 18 days ahead of the maneuver node, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, a day with these kind of time scales is nothing really. So I'm going to cancel the maneuver nodes, just make tiny corrections with the let's see, where is the orb? Oh, it's down there. Yeah, just using the RCS there because the engine would be far too powerful. And I kind of regret the fact that I can't use all the fuel I have here for anything, so that's just the way it's going to be. Sometimes you end up with too much fuel, and that is that's a lot better than ending up with too little fuel. Yeah, you can see, I mean, I'm just tapping the buttons there as delicately as I can, and it just goes all over the place. So this is going to be good enough for now. Then we'll make additional corrections once you get even closer, because you can still see that we are a long way away. I mean, that is 15,279 days away from the Pluto encounter, at 25 minutes and a few seconds, of course. So far this mission has lasted for over 41 years now, as I'm getting ready for another course correction towards Pluto. So I'm going to see if I can't get that nice Charon encounter again. So it might be a bit challenging. So it turned out that to get an encounter with both Pluto and Charon, I have to speed the probe up a little bit, just by, I mean, not even half a meter per second, but, you know, half a meter per second over many years. It's going to add up to a lot of a pretty big change in position, let's just say. So I don't think I can hope for much better than this. So how long do we actually have to wait now? Let's see. 3,600 days, so 10 years. Ah well, we have been out there for 41 years, so that's... well, it is a little bit, but, you know, not that much. It's right there in the distance. Right here. Although the night side is turned against us, but that is definitely Pluto. So we are getting close. We are so close now. And you can see that the sun is quite dim out here, so far out in the solar system. And this mission has now lasted for over 50 years. So this is one heck of a mission. 200 million meters above Pluto and Charon right now. And I'm going to start transmitting the first bits of data. So telemetry first, 112 science points. Let's have a look at the other instruments as well. 125, and this is going to be good. 150, 150 there again, and 150 on the temperature as well. And 150 from the micrometeorite detector, and that is from space high above Pluto. I'm going to do one last course correction burn, and that should take us to roughly 700 kilometers above the Pluto surface. And it's going to be a 32 meters per second burn, and I'm mostly using RCS fuel for this because you can see that we have quite a bit of it left. You can see the plutonium fuel that is powering the spacecraft is starting to run down, although we still have most of it left. But that really gives you an indication of how long this mission actually is. Next thing on the list now is to get to our Charon encounter and collect all the scientific data we can there as well. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit, and yeah, I'm going to be in space high above Charon because it was not really feasible to get a closer encounter with Charon while also getting close to Pluto as well, so it's a bit of a trade-off there, but that's fine. And it looks like we are getting the same amounts of science here from Charon as we did from Pluto. So that I think should be all the data. Yep. So next thing is to get close to Pluto. We have no connection with Earth at this moment, but once the sun reappears on the other side there, we should get our connection back, and then we'll be ready to transmit the science data. There we go. There we have connection again. So I'm going to repeat the procedure, and we get a little bit more science for transmitting data from space near Pluto. So I'm going to transmit all the data we can. And it is again going to yield us a nice chunk of science. So I'm not sure if can we get some more data from different biomes? That might be difficult. Yeah, I don't know if we can get that. It doesn't look like it really. Yeah, I think we're just going to settle with this amount of science points. And, well, that was the end of our brief visit to Pluto pretty much. We are sitting at the edge of the solar system, just looking back at the sun as we fly past Pluto at a fairly high speed and there was no chance of us going to orbit here, but I didn't really expect that anyway. So it is time to say goodbye to Charon and Pluto, and we may not visit them in a long time. You may think that this is going to be the end of the journey of the Endeavour IV probe, but actually that is not the case. Remember, we have quite a bit of fuel left in the tank. Take a look at the planetary map. We are not on a course to leave the solar system. The trajectory is heading back in towards the sun, so we could potentially use some of that fuel to set up an encounter with one more planet. And if we try, we take Saturn here, put down the maneuver node right after we leave Pluto's sphere of influence. So if we just can see the inclination is changing here. Ah, look, there we have some closest approach indicators. And let's see. Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? There is a Saturn encounter as well. Ooh, now this mission is getting extended beyond what I could have possibly imagined when I launched from Earth. But yeah, and well, that is going to take a bit more fuel than I have in the tank currently, but maybe I can, with a bit of optimization, I can get a Saturn encounter with by just using 742 meters per second of delta V. And I have almost 800 in the tank, plus all the RCS fuel, so that is well within our range. So now we are going to Saturn with this probe. That will be it for this episode of KSP Real Solar System Campaign. What started out as a fairly simple and standard Jupiter mission turned into a Pluto mission, which then turned into a Saturn mission. So this is going to be a bit of a tour of the solar system, and that is definitely not what I imagined when I launched this probe some 50 years ago. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will join me for the next video as well, where we will be heading back in towards the center of the solar system and towards Saturn as well. And who knows where we might go after that and what the final destination of this mission might be. So anyway, take care and bye.